First of all, what is FCP10? For people who don't know what FCP10 is, FCP10 or Final Cut Pro 10, it is a professional non-linear video editing application published by Apple Inc. as part of their Pro Apps family of software programs. If you want to know the minimum requirements and further information about the tech specs of the Pro app, then check the description below for all your queries. Is FCP costly? Apple's Pro video editor costs a flat one-time price of $299.99. I would say it's a fair price with a one-time payment. How is it helpful? Why you should use FCP? I've been using it for the past 1.5 years, and I do guarantee that this is the best editing software you can ever use in your lifetime. It's very powerful as well as efficient in editing high-definition footages. There are a lot of plugins just integrated for Final Cut Pro, so that really helps you a lot. I just had 2 crashes in the past 1 year after I started using this editing software. And I would recommend this software for all the young minds who are interested in editing footages. So, let's finally get into the FCP workflow. First of all, I've not opened any library or events till now, so I'll just be showing an overview on what FCP workflow is all about, on what it comprises of, etc. So this is the workflow of this software. It's very minimalistic, it's very compact. Also, we can hide a lot of things if we don't want to see them, right? So that's very useful. So first we have the browser. Here comes the events, the projects, everything, we can arrange it. Then we have the timeline. Right now, because I have not opened a project, the timeline is not visible, but this is the timeline where you do all the edits with the amazing magnetic timeline where we can drag and drop footages very easily. Then you have the inspector window, and the inspector window is very helpful. Helps you to further edit your titles, transitions, effects, volume and color grade to make your footages absolutely amazing. Then you have the viewer where you can see the display of the timeline, and you can also make it into double screens. Okay, you can make it into double screens by clicking at the window, and so that's possible. Comparison viewers can be done, etc. like that can actually be done. Okay, so that's how it's all about. We also have the sidebar where there's the titles, generators and sound effects, like you can see over here. You have the sound effects here. Okay, so let's get into the first step of using FCP, that is by creating a project that is through a library. So first, click on File, and then you get the new option where you can create the first and foremost the library. Here we can decide the name of it and where to save it, like that. So here we go to my files, and then as I'm doing an FCP series, as you can see, I've already made an FCP library and I'll be saving the library over there. You can type it as FCPX series. Okay. And that's how it is going to be. So as you can see here, we have the library generated here. Then after creating the library, you have to create an event along with the project. Okay. So first, if you want, you can cut off all this, or maybe if you want, you can keep them, or you can use this event itself, and this can be the first. Okay, this can be the first. One can be for the media and one can be for your project. Okay, so right now, as you can see, I have created the event, and then you got to create the project in this event. Okay, and you can name this as the first along with second parts. Okay, so you got to create the project, And then you have a lot of options. You can change like the video codec. If you want, you can change it to Apple ProRes 422HQ, but I prefer 4444XQ because that is the best video codec that we can get for the rendering. You can also select your project resolution, that's ranging from 1080p to 5K, and then you can also do 360-degree videos. So right now I'll be doing a 4K video, and the resolution's all up to you. It's all your wish. I prefer 60 frames per second. You can also change the audio channels to stereo and surround. Okay, so we are all set for the editing process. So here we'll be talking about the basic elements of FCP, that is the tools of FCP, which are very much important that we use every day in our editing workflow. So I have imported one of the media or one of the videos that I have used in my intros so that you can have a better understanding on what is going on in the timeline. First, we give the select button, which we can access by just pressing A, or you can go over here and you can select the select button, which we can access by pressing the key A. Okay. So here what we can do is we can select the clip, okay, or the audio you want and do further edits. You can move it around with this tool. Actually, the select tool you can actually use for moving it around. Okay, that's what it's all about. Then with the key B, okay, you can just press B, or you can also check it over here and you have the blade tool. And the blade tool is very, very important. Here you can divide a video or an audio at any point. At any point you can divide the video or an audio. So if you want to click over here, if you want to cut it over here, you can do it over here, you can do it over here. So anywhere it's possible. Okay, I'll be undoing these actions because I don't want that. Then we have the trim tool. Trim tool is not used much, but still it is important. You can also access it through this column, or you can just press T. And you can adjust the separation between two clips. Here I just have one clip, but I'll be showing you through the blade tool, cutting it off and then showing the adjustments. You can move this through and this will create a separation. That's how it's about. It's as simple as that. You can also move it over here and you will be getting the separation here. So it's all about moving the separation here and there. Okay. Then again, a very important tool you use regularly to fade music in between or maybe to cut clips is the range tool. Range tool you can access by just pressing R. You can just look up to this column. You can just look up to this and you will be getting all the keys that you have to use to access it easily. So here the range tool, it's very simple. I don't have an audio right now. I'll just be showing you the use of the range tool with the video clip. So here, just have to select this and you can maybe delete it. Okay, so that clip is just deleted and there's a small division that's formed over there. You can bring it back by a Command Z. So this tool, okay, so just to remind you all, is basically the backspace tool that we use, okay, and just you need to cut it off and you have the same action done over and over if you want. This is just a tool that people may use, may not use. We have the blade tool too in this, but this is a much easier tool. You can check the range, you can check the time and just cut off any part of the clip that you want to. Then you have other tools like position tool, which is actually used. It's actually a very important tool. Okay, so we access it through this, and if you want, what you can do here is the position tool. It's easy to drag and drop audio or video. You can just move it and there'll be a gap that there is a gap that is formed here, and this is actually very much helpful. You can create as lot of them as you want. Moving on, to the next tool, which is the hand tool, which is not used much again. This is just to scrub through the timeline and to find out and to go through your editing. That's it. And you also have the zoom tool. Zoom in and you can find out for viewing, for having a better view at the keyframes. And again, you can also do the same thing over here, and that's basically like zooming in, but there you are increasing the thumbnails. So here you can you can zoom in like this. Okay, so that's all about all the basic elements of FCPX.